This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 1. There was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. NLT. Then I was given a measuring stick, and I was told, Go and measure the temple of God and the altar, and count the number of worshippers. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami Camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 1, is that I want to play a short clip of this carnal Edomite who doesn't know the prophecies, who's all confused, all right? Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, all right? He is an open Christian Zionist, all right? And he wants the third temple to physically be built, okay? And this is the belief of the Christian Zionists. In fact, I'll get it. But first, before I get it, okay, we here at Great Millstone, through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, all right, we teach, all right, that the temple, okay, that's being built right now is a spiritual temple which consists of the elect of Israel, okay? And that's why I brought out Revelation 11 and 1, all right? This is talking about Israelites of the elect, okay? This is not a physical temple, okay? You wacky-tacky plantation Christians, especially you Christian Zionists, you got it all wrong, okay? Especially you, Pete Hegseth, all right? But now, let's go to what these Christian Zionists believe, all right? Because I asked. And if you want to know your enemy, okay, and these plantation Christians, these Christian Zionists, they are our, okay, enemies, okay, pertaining to the gospel, all right? Because they're teaching lies and madness. Why do Christian Zionists believe the third temple must be built? Christian Zionists, specifically those following a dispensationalist interpretation of the Bible, believe a third temple must be built as a necessary precursor to events prophesied in their eschatology, including the return of who they call so-called Jesus Christ. And remember, their Jesus Christ is a Caucasian man with blue eyes, all right, and long doggy string hair. That's who they think is coming, all right? So they want this temple built because they want to speed up prophecy so that the Messiah can return. This is what they believe in, okay? This is what these Christian Zionists believe in. Right here it says, for these Christian Zionists, the push to rebuild the temple is not about reinstating the old covenant for salvation, which they believe was superseded by Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, all right? And again, the salvation and the covenants are for the Israelites. You can read that in the book of Romans, chapter 9, all right? But these wacky-tacky plantation Christians want to ignore, okay, Paul's writings in Romans chapter 9. But rather about seeing what they view as unfulfilled biblical prophecies coming to pass, thereby speeding up the end time events as they understand them right. This is why they're so pro-war. This is why, okay, they allowed the JJs to do whatever they want, because these Christian Zionists, they have their own agenda, okay? They believe that if they can get these wars to get bigger to the point that these JJs are put into a predicament, they will accept baby Jesus, okay, into their hearts, all right? As well as they also believe that if the temple is being built physically, that the so-called Antichrist will sit in it, pertaining to 2 Thessalonians 2, chapter 2, verse 3, verse 4, which is total madness. Okay, that's BS, all right? Their interpretation of it. But this is what they believe, okay? This is what they believe. And again, you can't go on to the battlefield unless you don't know, unless, okay, you you know what your enemy thinks, all right? It's just something, it's just something anybody who went to war can attest to that. So now, as you can tell, they're bugged out and BS. So let's play this so you can hear from his own mouth, because I'm not making up. I just gave you a summary of it. All right, him saying this. Oh, hold up. By the way, okay, there's many antichrists. I got to bring out that scripture. Okay, I think it's in let me type it out. I know it's in 1 John, but let me type it out. Oh, shoot, I messed it up. Antichrist. Because there are many antichrists, okay? You plantation Christians are antichrists. Yep, 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard, that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Right, okay? You plantation Christians, you're a bunch of antichrists, okay? P. Hegseth is an antichrist, all right? And again, the temple, all right, is a spiritual temple, all right? The so-called third temple is a spiritual temple made of the elect, okay? Which we're going to go into some scriptures, because I asked ChatGPT to give a GMS breakdown. It's pretty cool with ChatGPT, But let me play this first. It's pretty cool, like I said, what ChatGPT provided.
And today, Jennifer and I and others had a chance to go see the western wall of the temple now, the western wall tunnels, so much of the old city. And as you stand there, you can't help but behold the miracle before you. And it got me thinking about another miracle that I hope all of you don't see too far away. Because 1917 was a miracle.
Right. What is he talking about, 1917? What is he talking about? Balfour Declaration of 1917 was the letter from the British Foreign Secretary, Arthur Balfour, who wrote to the JJs in Britain, mainly to... Oh, come on. Show more. See, they didn't even want to put his name. Come on, man. There we go. Now you better put his name. Lord Walter Rothschild. The Rothschild family. Okay? So that's what he's talking about. All right? The Rothschild family received a letter from Arthur Balfour, who was a British secretary, letting him know that he will get the land, the Holy Land. All right?
1948 was a miracle.
Right. He's talking about the establishment of the statehood of the JJs, which, by the way, all right, was set up through violence and terrorism, because he is talking at the King David Hotel, where in 1946 there was a bombing that was conducted by the Zionist JJs, all right, which killed Arabs, Britons, and their own kind, all right, to destroy evidence that the JJs were attacking the British military because they weren't moving fast enough to establish the statehood of the JJs. Where's that in the Bible? Where in the end times, the chosen people will be able to conduct terrorism, okay, in the Holy Land, okay, to establish their statehood, all right? I thought the Messiah is supposed to, okay, establish the children of Israel and bring the kingdom of heaven. This is how you know these plantation Christians are bugged out. All right? A lot of people died. okay, in the King David Hotel. And then look how deceitful these clowns, all right, conducted themselves. They dressed up as Arab workmen, disguised themselves while they did this. But these are the chosen people? The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Let's keep going.
1967 was a miracle.
All right, he's talking about the 6-Day War. 1967, all right, 6-Day War. You got to know this stuff, okay? The 1967, all right, 6-Day War. All right, you have to know this stuff, all right? Because if you are confronted, okay, by these plantation Christians, all right, you need to know the history, all right? You need to understand why they believe what they believe in. Okay, you can't be on the, once again, you can't be on the battlefield unless you know what your enemy thinks. 6-Day War, all right? Or 1967 Arab JJ War, all right? So let's keep going.
2017, the declaration of Jerusalem as the capital was a miracle.
Done by Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump was put back into office, because he's about to, all right, make things poppin'.
And there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible.
See that? So they want the third temple to be built, to, okay, to forward what their version of prophecy is, okay? All right? So that the Antichrist can sit in the third temple, all right? And you hear that a lot amongst these plantation Christians that are into the prophetic scriptures. They're so confused that they think that let me bring this out in 2 Thessalonians. Might as well break this down. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse, 5? Yeah, here it is. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. You know what? It's really 4. I'll start at the top. Man of lawlessness, okay? This is talking about, okay, a group of people, all right? The Edomites. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him. Right, who's being gathered together? The elect. That's the temple, okay? That's the temple, the spiritual temple. That's why I read Revelation 11 and 1, okay? The two witnesses are the Israelites, the northern and southern kingdom, all right, of the elect, because you 2/3, all right, you don't know what's going on. 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Right, we're clearly the final generation. This is exciting, seeing this weirdo P. Hegseth saying this stuff, because, all right, clearly, all right, they're going to do things to try to, okay, fulfill their own belly, their own interpretation, which is going to be to their own demise and to our salvation. So I'm like, yeah, okay, if you think, let's see, keep that same energy. Let's see if, all right, if your interpretation will prevail. It's not, okay, because we got the truth, the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. But it's, what they believe in, see, the Lord got them in a trick bag. He's got them caught up in their own delusion, all right? Because at the end of the day, this is all being set up so that Yahweh Shai can make his second return. And boy, he's going to get these devils. They're going to be shocked when they see Yahweh Shai coming, all right, in a great spaceship, okay, zapping them, all right, destroying their military. 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right, there had to be a falling away. That's us, the Israelites. We had to fall away from our identity, our heritage, okay? And in the process of falling away, then the Son of Man will be revealed, all right? The son of perdition, okay, which means destruction, all right? And he has been revealed, okay? Who's the wicked on the earth? Who's been moving, okay, and governing in wickedness? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the wicked. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of Joseph. If not, then who is he, right? 4, who oppose and exalt himself above all that is called God, right? AI, transhumanism, World Economic Forum, right? Or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Now watch this, verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. 6, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. We're in the time where he's being revealed, okay, by the prophets. 7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. See, this is clue right here. What empire was ruling, all right, that was full of iniquity when Paul wrote this? The Roman Empire, which are these Edomites. This is who the man of sin is. This is who these antichrists are, all right? These Edomites, man. And only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. 8, and then shall the wicked be revealed from the Lord whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, right? The prophets, okay? And shall destroy them with the brightness of his coming. You see that? The brightness of his coming, meaning in the spaceship, so-called UFOs, all right? And the angels that are coming in their spaceship, all right? Because that's how he's coming to judge the earth. 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all powers and signs and lying wonders, right? These Edomites work for the spiritual Satan, all right? And they're the physical counterpart of Satan. So there you go. So now, you got that. You got the gist of who who the wicked is, okay? And again, these plantation Christian Zionists really believe that if this third temple is physically built, that the Antichrist will go in there, okay? And fulfill 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, which they totally butchered this up, okay? This devil has been exalting himself as the Most High since he took over the whole earth, okay? So now, let's go to ChatGPT. I said, break this down precept by precept, GMS style. Right, I was basically asking about the third temple, all right? Wanted to see what ChatGPT would say. So bet. So look, it even talks like Jake. Let's do this straight GMS street teaching style. Precept on precept, no fluff. Letting the scriptures interpret themselves. Yo, I was like, wait a minute. Is ChatGPT trying to be like Jake? You know? I'll move linearly, like how brothers would break it down on the highways, right? Third temple, GMS precept by precept breakdown. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line. Facts. Does the Most High dwell in physical buildings? Precept 1, Acts chapter 7, verse 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Precept 2, Acts chapter 17, verse 24. God dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Precept 3, Isaiah 66, verse 1. Where is the house that ye build unto me? GMS breakdown. This already destroys the idea that the Most High is waiting on bricks. After Yahweh Shai, the dwelling shifted. If he doesn't dwell in temples made with hands, no future physical temple is needed. Pooh, that cuts you plantation Christians, you goof troops. All right, who is the temple according to Yahweh Shai? Precept 1. John chapter 2, verse 19 through 21, destroyed his temple. He spake of the temple of his body. Precept 2, Colossians chapter 2, verse 9, for in him dwelleth of the fullness of the Godhead bodily. All right, GMS breakdown, Yahweh Shai equals the primary temple. That's why he's known as the cornerstone. The Spirit dwells in him. Any temple doctrine must start and end with Yahweh Shai. Okay? What happened to animal sacrifice? We can jump down. Who is the temple now? Check this out. This is what I want to get. Precept 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Ye are the temple of God. Precept 2. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. Your body's the temple of the Holy Spirit. Precept 3. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. Ye are the temple of the living God. GMS breakdown. The temple equals the people. Specifically Israel. More specifically the elected Israel. Secret disciple, man. ChatGPT is the secret disciple. This is dope. Like, hey, man, the truth is out. That's why they got to shut the internet down. They have to shut the internet down. How is the temple built? Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20. Yahushua Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone. You know what? I brought this out on Wednesday in fellowship last week. You know what? Let me go. Let me bring this out because this proves who is the cornerstone of the temple and who's in the temple. All right, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and the household of God, right? It's pertaining to the Israelites, more specifically the elect of the nation of Israel. 20. And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua HaMashiach himself being the chief cornerstone. You see that? 20. In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto and holy temple in the Lord. Here's the point. 22. In whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. Right. It's a spiritual temple of the Israelites. Okay. Of the elect specifically. Okay. ChatGPT. Hey, secret disciple. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 5. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house. Boom. So this is not a physical temple. It's a spiritual one. Psalm 118 verse 22. The stone which the builders refuse has become the headstone. Again, it's all through Yahushua. He's the cornerstone. Okay. And through him, he's building the so-called third temple, which is the elect of Israel. All right. Not dead stones, living stones. Yahushua is a cornerstone. The elect stones being fitted together right now. All right. That's it. I mean, there's more precepts. Okay. Ooh, look at that. What is being measured in Revelation? Revelation 11 and 1. Rise and measure the temple of God. Zechariah chapter 2 verse 1 through 2. Man with a measuring line. Okay. Amos chapter 7 verse 7 through 8. Plumb line in the midst of Israel. Measuring equals judgment and separation. Not measuring walls. Measuring people. Right. Who's in the truth and who's not. All right. Who's sincere and who's not. That's the temple. Okay. Look at this. Where does the man of sin sit? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, verse 4, right? Which I just read. It says the man of sin equals Esau's system. He sits in the mind of the people. Government, churches, media equals his seat. Not a chair in Jerusalem. Ooh, bad. Hey, ChatGPT broke it down better than me. Okay? Yeah, man. Okay? Because this is it. Damn, that's deep, man. So there you go. Oh, this is Yapa. Yeah, they're gonna have to shut the internet down. They're gonna have to shut it down. All right. So yeah. So Lord willing, that's edifying. Hey, I just wanted to make a quick lesson out of this because again, the third temple, the so-called third temple, all right, is a spiritual temple, which is the elect of Israel, not no carnal temple. Okay, and that's why these Christian Zionists, they're bugged out. But it's okay. They have to do what they have to do so that prophecy is fulfilled in terms of this is all going to lead to their destruction. They're going to be, okay, their kingdom's going down. All right? So, yeah, so Lord willing, this less edifying. I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep the door, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. These devils are losing it. Hey, man. But hey, it's just confirms that we got the truth. For the fuses that are watching, keep studying when you pray. Pray, cover, shalom.